how are you feeling? How's the injury recovery been? And are you 100% ready to go?
Yes, sir. I'm feeling really great. I've been taking it day by day, and just being out there with my guys is a great feeling. And, of course, I'm ready to roll. Been out for a very long time, and it's just a blessing to be out there.
And for you, how much of a test has it been over these last several years, specifically last year? You know, you get to start, you're back, you're ready to go, and then all of a sudden you suffer another setback. For you to persevere and come back hopefully stronger than ever, how was that kind of test of a willpower, so to speak?
I just think God's testing me, and keeping my faith has really been getting me through it. My family, my teammates, and the coaches, everybody really been getting me through it, and trying not to think about that too much. Just going out there and playing and competing and being out there with my teammates. It's always a great feeling going out there and trying not to really worry about the past. I know I battled through some injuries, but I'm just going to keep persevering and just being better.
And right now you're involved in a four-way quarterback competition, a lot of experience in that room. How are you guys competing while at the same time building each other up to make sure that whomever wins the competition is ready to take a big step forward and lead this team?
Iron sharpens iron, and we all go out there and compete, and we don't compete with each other, we compete with ourselves, and we like to build each other up. And if someone makes a good pass, we let them know it's a good pass. And if somebody's doing really not bad, but make a bad pass, we try to go out there and encourage them to move on to the next play. And so that we go out there and compete, and the best man wins, and it's gonna be no hard feelings.
Thank you, Frank.
Yes, sir.
AJ, you're up. Evan, you're on deck.
Frank, what's it like in the quarterback room? That everybody tells us you guys are close. Are you guys really friends? Is the camaraderie really there with you guys?
It's crazy because we're actually talking to me, Josh, Joe, and Lowell. We're all talking outside that we're trying to get together and have a little quarterback thing so we can go out and do stuff. So we actually really are. It's not just them saying that. We're always together. We're always joking and laughing and just doing something crazy and try not to get in trouble.
Thanks, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Evan. Greg, you're on deck.
Frank, I appreciate it, Kyle. Frank, how's the transition, just learning a new offense and what Coach Traylor and his group is putting in? What have been the difficulties, or has it been difficult picking everything up?
I think it's been a great transition. I think we're taking it really well. Everybody's buying into the new stuff and the new staff and everything Coach Traylor and the coordinators and everybody else is telling us. And I think the team is really buying in, and I think it's going to be a great season for us.
And then also, I want to talk a little bit about the San Antonio recruiting scene, because I see it on social media just how it seems like more and more here in the city of San Antonio are welcoming the idea of going to UTSA. Obviously, you did it a few years ago, and part of that growing trend. Just what does it mean to you to continue to keep kids here in San Antonio and build something at UTSA with those kids?
I just think it's a great experience, playing in front of your family and friends that don't really got to travel too much. You're just putting on for your city where you grew up in your whole life. Why not stay here? Why go someplace else and, I guess sort of say rep somebody else's city where you could just stay home and rep your city and have everybody come out support you. And we got something building here. It's going to be something special here in the near future. And why not be a part of that?
And do you feel like it's becoming a thing where do you feel like kids that you talk to are way more welcoming to the idea of staying at UTSA versus maybe when you were committing to UTSA?
Yes, sir. I think so because, we got some big time recruits who actually could have went somewhere else bigger, I should say, and decided to stay here. So I feel like after we had a few guys do that, people are seeing that staying home is not as bad as everyone makes it seem. And you see some guys who leave and they actually come back. So it just shows that, there's something special about this place, and it's just not a few guys doing it. It's actually something real, and it's a reason why everybody's coming back or staying here. It's not just a flake.
Appreciate it, Frank.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Greg, you're up.
Frank, Josh Adkins over the summer said that his relationship with you and your guys' conversations were part of the reason that he ended up here. Can you take me through what that was like from your perspective?
We played against each other at Smithson Valley. Always had battles. He earned my respect, I earned his respect. We've been competing for a very long time. In the All-Star game, I wasn't able to play. He was a quarterback then. Me and him had started talking then. And when he went to New Mexico State, we kind of stayed in touch, kind of really talked a little bit about stuff. And so after he put his name in the portal, I reached out to him. I think I was like the first person to call him. I had FaceTime actually. And I asked him what was going on about the situation and why he was leaving. We talked for a little bit, and he ended up saying that he was actually into the transfer portal. And he at that time, he didn't know where he was going to go. And then it was my birthday. He ended up knowing he was going. He was going to come to UTSA. He had called me before he made an announcement on social media. And he had told me he was going to come to UTSA and wanted me to be the first to know. And I told him I respected his decision. And, just come on and we're going to welcome you like anybody else. So it was no hard feelings at all.
When you talked that first time, did you kind of pitch him on the school or the benefits of being here?
Well, he was a grad transfer, so he could have really went anywhere he wanted to. He really didn't ask too much about UTSA, so I really didn't want to push him anyway. I told him wherever he goes, he's going to make an impact, and just for him to make the right decision for himself and not for anybody else. So I'm pretty sure that the best decision was for him to stay close to home because he's from here and just try to put on for the city.
Okay, Hector.
Morning, Frank.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, this question is kind of jumping off of Evan's questions. Since UTSA started the program, they've been recruiting local guys, but it seems like when they were recruiting you and you decided to go, it seemed like there was a shift at that point. Like at that point now, the highly recruited guys that could have gone other places were choosing to stay home. Do you consider yourself in any way kind of a pioneer in this movement of keeping guys home and keeping guys around?
Well, during the whole recruiting process, a lot of us are really close. We all grew up together for the most part. I know somebody down the road. So, me and Jarvion, we go way back. So when he decided to stay here, I reached out to him and asked him why he stayed here. Glasgow was the same way because that's my cousin. So I had asked all them guys who could have went someplace else why they chose here. And I actually prayed about it and thought about it. And I decided that the best place was actually like to stay close to home. And after that, I just wanted to reach out because, me and Shai grew up together. Me and Spence grew up together. So we all, Jalan, all of us really grew up in the same area and grew up in the same place. And, you see, we play together Little League, but it's crazy getting an opportunity to play with people you grew up with in the college level. So, after I showed here, I reached out to Shad. I wanted to get Sincere. I wanted to get all those guys. So after we got those two and Spence, it was kind of like, man, those guys had some big offers. Spence had some big offers. Shad they all had big offers. So them staying here was a big trend. They just showed that they wanted to actually stay home and rep the city. So after those guys came through, it just showed that they really wanted to stay close and that they could put on at a school like UTSA and not go someplace else, I guess you could sort of say, bigger. So that was a great leaping for us is for them to stay home.
And for you personally, Frank, as you worked your way back, is there a certain aspect of your game that you would say is better now than it was before the injury?
I'll probably say my passing game and my accuracy. I put on some weight during the time I've been injured. I really could do nothing but lift. So I was rehabbing and started getting in the weight room a lot more with Coach Follow. And I give a lot of credit to him. He put a lot of weight on me. So I probably gained about 8 to 10 pounds over that time. And, that it was a big accomplishment for me to just gain some weight and gain some muscle so I could protect myself.
Thank you, Frank.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Greg, you got the last question for Frank.
Frank, there's obviously a lot of conversation going on around college football right now about the pandemic and whether the season is going to happen. I'm really curious specifically about the last couple of days. There's been a lot of conversation about myocarditis, the heart condition that can develop in athletes who test positive. What have either your coaches there or the training staff told you guys about that and the risks that you face because of that?
They have talked to us about it. But at the end of the day, it's our decision if we wanted to play. And I guess you could say put our lives at risk. But, that's life. If you really love the game, you're going to go out there and compete. And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And the same thing with the virus. You can get it not playing football. So, it's really our decision. And Coach gave us that decision. He's really harped on that I mean, if we want to play, we can. If we want to opt out, we can. So he's been doing a great job, and the training staff, everybody in the training staff, doing a great job of making sure everything is clean. So I mean, we really don't try to look at that. We try to let everything, take it day by day and let everything take care of itself.